Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Liam and today we're going to be going over the behind the scenes footage from my latest short film, The Furrow. If you have not seen The Furrow yet, go check it out. It's going to be the first link in the description down below. Now before I get started, I just want to give a big shout out to Alice Scherbach, who filmed this beautiful looking behind the scenes footage you guys are about to see, and to Veronica Barron, who did the fantastic looking makeup you guys see throughout the short film. So I just want to say thank you for helping out my project, and I really appreciate the hard work that went into it. Now without much further ado, here's the behind the scenes footage from The Furrow. Unfortunately, the behind the scenes footage is only from the first day, but considering I cut down as short as I could and it still came out to around 10 minutes, that might be a good thing. At the beginning of the day, we met up at a studio and basically just got situated. This meant prepping any camera gear that we needed to, starting makeup work on actors, and going over any lines or motivation with the actors that needed to be cleared up. Impact coming in, because that's going to be like kind of like
to me, you know,
yeah,
like
exactly.
only that line,
yeah.
you know, yeah, okay, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
I kind of figured like the guy, you know, I don't know if you know like the river Styx, the guy who takes the boat.
People to Hades.
To Hades, I like every time I've seen that guy's kind of been just like real low key.
We started makeup on David first since we knew the monk's makeup would be a lot more time intensive. While Scotty started getting his makeup on, David, Andy, and I went out and shot the bus scene in around 30 minutes and then came back. During this time, we actually hit a little bit of a roadblock. I had ordered some foggy colored contacts for the monk to wear to give this blind looking effect, but they actually hadn't arrived at my house on time. I received an email saying that they were at unit, which I took to believe at the post office that distributed my mail. At this point, I had to decide if I wanted to drive all the way back home, which probably would have taken a good hour and a half out of the day, so we could use the contacts during the field scene, or just go as scheduled and try to do foggy eyes in post. We decided to go with the After Effects solution, which is always a little nerve-wracking when you plan to do something in post that you originally had not anticipated to do in post. Andy handled the eye effects, and I gotta say it looks absolutely amazing. When we got back to my house later that day to film the bedroom scene with the monk, they were actually sitting on my doorstep, so we were able to use the real thing for the bedroom shots and those close-ups. But personally, I can't even tell the difference between when it's the special effects versus the real thing, so I'm really happy about how that blended so well. At around this time, Veronica finished the makeup on Scotty and we were ready to head out. At this point, we headed to the jogger location.
Cool.
All set?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh god. Oh my.
As I mentioned in my previous video, this is something I wish I had laid out a little bit differently. Andy and I probably could have captured this ourselves on a third day. It definitely would have taken a huge chunk out of that first day that would have really allowed us to spend time on some of the more powerful parts. Something that also really slowed down the jogger scene was that it was very run and gun. We basically arrived at the location not knowing exactly where we wanted to shoot and kind of just walked around and figured out what looked best on camera. Once we had figured out the location we had wanted, we basically went around and figured out what were the best shots for each part of the scene. Since we didn't have a shot list, this was something we basically had to come up with on the spot, and I'm really happy with the shots we came up with, but that's definitely something that added a little bit of time to the scene that really should have been an extremely quick scene. A little bit after we had arrived at the location that we were happy with, the batteries died on our audio recorder, so everything that you hear in the jogger scene is Foley that was done by Andy. Once we completed this, we finally went to the field location. This location was slightly remote, so we had to walk a lot of the equipment to the location. This made things a little bit difficult since we just had to be a little bit more selective about what we chose to bring and what we chose to leave behind. Also, it turns out this location was pretty much a part-time swamp.
Anybody bring bug spray?
Nope.
There was literally hundreds and hundreds of ginormous monster mosquitoes, which made this entire scene pretty miserable for absolutely everybody. I think pretty much everyone except for Scotty, who got to wear the ropes, walked away with at least 20 bug bites after this. Once we were getting settled at this location, Andy was setting up his camera, I was able to basically just go through a quick rehearsal and blocking with Scotty and David. This consisted of just them running through the lines a couple times and just playing around with the delivery to see what worked best.
You ain't real. You weren't real last night, you're real now.
When you look into the eye, the line is no longer yours.
Once I was happy with how the lines were being delivered, we moved on to shooting. Similar to the jogger scene, this was also extremely run and gun. We hadn't previously scouted out the location and had no shot list, so we were basically just wandering around trying to find what worked best for the story and also looked the best on camera. Once we started shooting, we were able to move through the scene pretty quickly. This was also partially due to the fact that we were losing sunlight and also had to drive around an hour to the next location so that we could finish a whole nother scene.
Speed. 110, take 2. Action.
When you look into the eye, your mind is no longer yours. Your mind.
So that about wraps up the behind the scenes look at the Furrow. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you'd like to see any more of these types of videos in the future. Until next time, I will see you guys soon. I am dropping another video in 2 weeks.